Building this community not only meant resident participation, it also meant government transparency.
Transparency is important because that becomes the element of inclusiveness. It includes all the residents in the decision making. It helps to include them as an educated electorate, and it helps them decide how their money is spent and what the future and the direction the village takes.
In an effort to keep everyone informed, the village continually makes communication a priority. Not only is there a website full of information, but the village also puts out e-currents.
We've got our newsletter that goes out on the internet, which reaches directly everyone who is asked to be included in that.
Social networking from Facebook and YouTube to Twitter has also changed the way this government communicates.
Social networking is important because we have the responsibility to reach out to our residents, to be responsive to them, and that's what the residents are using.
We've just tried to do everything we could, every avenue that we could, to stay at the forefront of innovation and to keep people involved.
With public involvement at the heart of this neighborhood, the village makes sure specific programs or boards are in place to keep the village beautiful and safe for residents.
Historic preservation talks about the historic buildings and people who have contributed to the development of our village. Art in public places involves all sorts of things such as paths, walkways, fountains, decorative murals on buildings. It actually even included a decorative aspect to this building that we're in today.
Palmetto Bay is also working to establish a Safe Routes to School program.
Safe Routes to School is a very green program that encourages children and families to get to school on their bike.
And a safe ride means safe bike paths. The village of Palmetto Bay sees its bike paths as linear parks and works hard at the local and county level to make sure they're safe and accessible. Another green initiative, the village's tree board.
I feel that we are definitely a village of trees and green, and I just feel that it's important that we continue our quest to remain a tree city.
That means they'll continue to invest in their tree canopy. Speaking of green, Palmetto Bay is leading by example. The Coral Reef Park concession stand, home to Parkview Cafe, is the first municipal LEED certified building in Miami-Dade County. There's also the Sustainable Community Plan, Green Building Code, and Green Corridor.
We've got a very good relationship with the county and with what I call our sister cities. We have Cutler Bay to the south, Pinecrest to the north. And we work together. We're working like on the Green Corridor on US 1, trying to make it more sustainable for people.
And sustainability is key for our new village hall. Yet another example of how this small government takes action. They needed the right location for this new community hub, and they found it in the Franjo Triangle.
We needed an economic generator. Councilman Paul Neidhart really pushed hard from the very beginning for this area.
My dream is always to see Franjo Road as downtown Palmetto Bay. I fought as hard as anybody to get Village Hall in that area.
It makes a loud statement that we believe in this area, and you should too.
And with water and sewer service now making its way into this commercial district, it's an opportunity for true economic development.
Village Hall is just the start. I think that the ancillary businesses will come here, and sooner than later. So I'm looking forward very much to that.
This location also allows easy access to public transportation and is bicycle and pedestrian friendly. Palmetto Bay's council and staff are also going for the gold and green standards. They want this to be the first platinum LEED certified municipal building, which is the highest standard possible.
When it was designed, the thing that we brought forth to all the contractors who bid on it is that we wanted to be LEED and as high of LEED as possible.
Green is not a title. Green is an obligation to build efficiently. And that's the way we look at it. It's quality construction. It's reducing, putting some investment up front to reduce your ongoing, your recurring expenses. Going green to the platinum level should save us, in today's dollars, about $50,000 a year to our taxpayers.
The building will generate about 60% of its power needs through solar energy.
We've got a 60,000 gallon cistern. I mean, We've had all these rain barrel workshops here, and now we're not just saying, we're doing, and again, leading by example, where we're going to use that water for all our non-drinking needs.
In a short span of time, the village of Palmetto Bay has created a culture of excellence.
We created a very reasonable but ambitious checklist of things to accomplish in our first 8 years, and I'm very pleased that we exceeded those.
They've created what they call government light.
We have steadily built our reserves. Our very first year, we got back $2.5 million that we immediately put in a lockbox. We only grew our employees as we were ready. We just didn't go out and hire.
When I go to government conferences up in Tallahassee, surprisingly, people come up to us and say, boy, Palmetto Bay, you guys did it right. You have the right idea.
And the hard work of the village's council and staff hasn't gone unnoticed.
We've been recognized by a bond rating that is off the charts for this time. We've got a AA and a AA minus rating. It's unheard of for a government our size to have that type of rating.
The excellent ratings are based upon fiscal responsibility and an outstanding debt-to-asset ratio.
It is immensely happily and proudly that I drive around, look at all this and say, look what could be done in the course of several years with no increase in taxes to our citizens at all.
This community provides the highest levels of service with one of the lowest tax rates in Miami-Dade County. In fact, Palmetto Bay is actually the third lowest among the county's 33 municipalities.
We've left this with such a great source of pride, and I think the challenge for the next council is going to be to continue to take those next steps.
As our founding mayor hands off the reins to the next council, those who have worked with him over the years realize his leadership helped build the village of Palmetto Bay.
The mayor did an excellent job. He was really, I think, devoted his life, even over his own work, to see to it that these things came to fruition. You know, he's a great guy, and I wish him well where he goes.
He can be tough or he can be a softie. He loves working with the kids. All the council meetings, he loves giving awards.
He put immense amount of time, energy, and leadership ability into it to make sure that all of our citizens knew what's going on. He was accessible and approachable by everybody all of the time.
I think personally that if we had not had Gene as our mayor, we would not be as far as we are today.
As I used to kid, being the vice mayor, you know, your role is to take over for the mayor if he's not able to do it. I could never get him away so that I could take over. He was very involved.
Mayor Flynn set a great model of and an example of reaching out to the community, communicating exceptionally well, and developing those communication skills and encouraging the rest of us to do the same.
Gene, I'd like to thank you for your past service. I think you did a terrific job in leading us out of the wilderness to the formation of a terrific city.
Well, I think the thank you is not from me, it's from all the citizens of Palmetto Bay.
As for our mayor's legacy, he says it's simple. Together, we accomplished this. Together, we're building our community.
Well, I didn't know it would go so fast, but I'm always going to be here. I'm going to be a resident here. I'm always going to be an active participant in this area, and who knows where my future is going to lead me, but my heart's here. It's been a great experience for me. I hope it's been an outstanding one for my parents, my in-laws, my wife, my kids, and my fellow residents.